let's talk about one other topic. I know you're an expert in this area, rented networks insurance coverage. And so I'm going to let you just start and kind of give an explanation, because I think this is maybe a concept that not everyone's entirely familiar with, at least the inside and out. So I'll let you talk a little bit about what that is, and then I'll bring up some slides for our audience to help walk them through the discussion.
Okay. So first of all, I'm going to preface, I am only the deliverer of the news. I did not create the rented network, so I'm just tossing it out there first of all.
All right.
So what is happening out, and it's been happening in the last year or two, but a lot of the offices, like I said, about 90% of the dental practices are not aware of this. You have insurance companies that are leasing out their program to other insurance companies. What that does is it allows that insurance company to access to the patients, to widen their patient base. And then the other thing is they're able to use that original insurance's fee schedule. So the reason that this affects dental offices, just to give you a hypothetical, one would be Assurant. Assurant is in a rented network with United Concordia and with Aetna. So let's say a doctor is out of network and they decided, well, I'm just going to get in direct contract with Assurant. Then all of a sudden their claims are coming back paid by either Aetna, patients that have Aetna insurance, or patients that have United Concordia, and they're confused. I'm not in direct contract with these two companies. Why am I being paid off on them and I have to write off the difference? And the reason is because they went into a direct Assurant in a rented network with these two other companies. So that one dental office who thought that they were basically just in network with Assurant is actually in network with all three: Assurant, United Concordia, and Aetna.
And is this becoming more prevalent, and how prevalent is it right now?
Very prevalent. And it's to the point where you have to understand the rented networks, because when we're dealing with our clients, we're able to increase their patient base as we increase their knowledge. Yet at the same time, you have to understand the fee schedules, because if you're in the rented network, you have to figure out, am I joining this network through Assurant? Am I going to join it through Aetna? Or am I going to join it through United Concordia? And the answer is the one that gives you the highest fee schedule. So you have to figure out how you can get that high fee schedule, and you could definitely leverage it to your benefit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, excellent. Well, is it okay if I bring up the slides? And
absolutely.
We'll start walking through this? Okay.
Okay, great.
All right, so I'll let you kind of take us through some of the details here, but yeah, so a little bit more background information on this topic.
Okay, so let's just start with the preface. A new patient calls and they will say, hey, are you in network with, well, let's just use Assurant. And the doctor office says, no, I am not. In theory, they may be. So besides, you know, and a lot of times they'll tell the patient, well, you can still come to us. We can still see you. But patients are becoming more aware that they understand if they go to an out-of-network doctor, they have to pay out of pocket. There's a huge percentage of patients that realize that maybe they can get a really good doctor that is in network and not have to pay out of pocket. So because of the internet, patients are more aware of this. It would behoove a doctor to find out, first of all, which contracts do they have a direct contract with. That means which doctors are in contract with, let's say, Assurant, and what is their fee schedule. The second thing is, by being in direct contract with that insurance, are they also in other rented networks that they may not be aware of? There's doctor offices that just went to town, and when they got their associates in, they signed up with every single insurance group. But by doing that, they actually have decreased their ability of increasing their fees by 24%, because one of the rented networks has put a little stop on that process, which when we go through the next slides, I'll go over that with you. So really you want to identify which, you want to be strategic. You want to know which companies you want to be in direct contract with, which ones do you want to be in a rented network with, and which ones you don't want to have any involvement at all. And by doing that, you can definitely increase your new patient stream, but also have a really good, decent fee schedule.
Excellent. Okay. Let's move on. Next slide.
So this is an example of an office that has multiple providers. On the left side, you'll see that at the top it says providers. those are their initials. It tells you the location and it tells you their tax ID. One of the processes that we do right out of the gate is we do validation. We want to know how these providers are in a specific insurance. What is their relationship with a specific insurance? And as you can tell right underneath for Aetna, you have one doctor that is underneath the G1G fee schedule. One is not in network at all. The other one is, I would say, Aetna 515 plan, and another one is underneath the 565 plan. So in understanding that, we're able to tell them what is going on. So one of the things that the doctors should realize is understand how each one of their providers are in contract with a specific insurance company.
Okay, great view. Okay, and tell us a little bit about this one.
And the reason you want to do that is portrayed in this slide here. So let's just talk about Principal first. Principal does what's called tiering. What's involved with tiering is that you see all those insurance companies listed right below Principal, Kent?
Yep.
Well, what happens is Principal will say, is this doctor in direct contract with Principal? If the answer is yes, they will pay on that fee schedule. These are all the rented networks that are in network with Principal. Then they'll say, well, are they with Diversified? If answer to no, they're not in direct contract with Principal, they go to the next one in line. Are they with Diversified Services? If your answer is no, are they in with the Veritas? If your answer is no, are they in with Dental Health? If your answer is no, are they in with United Concordia? The answer is no, then they go to Dynamax. The majority of the doctors that I've come across are in network with Dynamax at different fee schedules. So if they're in network with Dynamax, Principal will pick up on the Dynamax fee schedule because they're in a rented network. Okay, there's the DHA assurance, same thing with DHA. So if you are in network with DHA, how they pay is in a tier. They will say, okay, are you in network with DHA? If your answer is no, they'll go to Aetna. Are you in network with Aetna? Yes. So DHA will pick up on the Aetna fee schedule. The one that's different is Blue Cross Blue Shield. Blue Cross Blue Shield does what's called cherry picking. So there's what's called the best value practice. So let's say Dr. Smith. Dr. Smith is in direct contract with Dynamax. They're in direct contract with Carrington and direct contract with Connection Dental. The fee schedules for Dynamax are probably the lowest. Then there's Connection Dental, and then Carrington is the highest fee schedule. When a patient comes in with the Blue Cross Blue Shield claim and the doctor is looking at it, Blue Cross Blue Shield will say, which one of these three has the lowest fee schedule? And they will pick you up on the lowest fee schedule. And then the same thing with Lincoln Financial. So this is just to give you an idea of you can be in either a company through or insurance group either directly or in a rented network or maybe not at all.
Excellent. Okay, good. So definitely a complex topic, no question. I appreciate that. That's definitely providing some clarity.
Okay, so this is an example of as you're negotiating out fees. So this is a great example. Connection Dental. Connection Dental is not an insurance company. It basically holds several insurance companies beneath its wing. It's in a rented network. It has Principal, Aetna, Assurance. So when you register, and trust me, I've learned this through trials and tribulations, Ken. It's not something that came to me overnight. So you're going to be in with Connection Dental. You're going to sign up because you're going to think, I'm going to get all these new patients because they are in rented networks with all this insurance, right? So they give you a fee schedule. You like it. It's great. Well, here's what happens. Let's say your patient comes in and they have DHA and Assurance. DHA and Assurance pays on a tier. So where is United or Connection Dental on that list? The fourth one, right? So in order for that patient's insurance to pay on that Connection Dental fee schedule that you're so proud of getting, you cannot be in a DHA, you cannot be in Aetna, and you cannot be in United Concordia to get that special fee that you got.
Okay.
Because these insurance pay on tiers. MetLife, where's Connection Dental on that list?
Number 5.
But the fifth one. So you better not be in MetLife, you better not be in Stratos, you better not be in Dynamax, you better not be in Carrington for you to get that special fee that you arrange with Connection Dental. So a doctor who goes into these insurances thinking they're going to get all these patients in, yes, but you got to be very careful to find out you don't want to get them at a very, very low fee schedule because of this tiering process that's going on.
Okay, very, very eye-opening. Another example
Okay.
you want to walk us through?
Well, this is a financial example. So this is something that the doctors and the managers can put their arms around. So there's Guardian insurance, right? So an office can be a network with Guardian. They can balance bills. So patient comes in, they get seen, patient pays, the insurance pays, and then the patient pays whatever the insurance doesn't cover. They can be in network, so they can be underneath a direct contract, and they can have a specific fee that they're going to be paid for a service, or they can be in a rented network, either Dynamax, Connection, or Carrington. The next slide will give you an example of how this works out. So let's say we're going to look at a crown. In Guardian, if you're out of network, let's say that crown is $1,300. If you're in network, let's say you negotiated out a fee for $915. And if you're in a rented network, there's Aetna that pays at $1,096, Connection at $916, and Carrington at $1,049. So depending on how you leverage yourself, we'll show you the outcome. So the next slide. So let's say we got a situation where we see 20 crowns, or the patient, or the practice, sorry, completes 20 crowns for a month. If you're out of network, that fee is $1,300. So by the end of the month, that's $26,000 in production. And let's look at Carrington. Carrington, their fee is $1,000. So at the end of the month, they have about $20,980 in. The difference from Guardian is that you're getting 1% from your normal schedule, and from Aetna, right? So in this case here, you would want to be in network with Aetna and not with Guardian in the rented network.
Okay. All right.
So that is just an example of that. This is the last example, is MetLife. Same thing. You can be either out of network, you can be in contract, or you can go through a rented network. If you're through a rented network, then that means you're open to Dynamax, Connection, or Maverist. Let's look at what those fees are. Now, every office is different depending on their geographic location, but this is for a specific office that we looked at. Their out-of-network was $1,300. In-network was $647 for the same crown that we just talked about in Guardian. And through the rented networks, they're a little bit higher. Dynamax covered it at $878, Connection at $916, and Maverist at $948. So what does that mean when you look at it at the end of the month? So in this particular case, if they're doing 20 crowns a month, the out-of-network is going to be around $26,000 in production. And then you can see for MetLife, Connection, and Maverist, what it would total up for the month. The difference is if you're in the rented network through MetLife, you're writing off 50% of production. If you went in through Maverist, you're writing off 27%. Where would you rather be?
Not a hard question.
And you know what else is? This is happening, but the doctors are not aware of it. They just feel like they're victims of the system. But in this particular case, the reason that I was attracted to the rented networks as a service that we provide for our clients is that, you know, trying to be strategic and leverage that information or that playing field could make a difference of today and a fee schedule of 24% higher and more new patients.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So what are some things that doctors can do to help work through this challenge? I mean, is this something that you recommend they address on their own, or do they look to someone on their team, or do they look for outside expertise? How do they attack this problem? Because this is a significant financial burden.
Right. If there was a course that I could teach to tell the doctors on how to do this, I would do it in a heartbeat. It's an ever evolving and changing system or methodology. So even with my team and I, every month, we're constantly learning more and more and more, and we're implementing it. So yes, the doctor can do it on its own, but it took us a long time to figure out what's going on. I mean, the thing that you saw on those screens, those charts, took literally 3 months of several calls to the same insurance company to get that information. So they can take the information we did today. First thing they can do is check to see if they're in direct contract or if they're in a rented contract, just calling the insurance companies and asking, how are we in network? What fee schedule are you paying off of? The part that they're going to struggle with is understanding how the rented networks work. So if that's something that they want to outsource it to another company or call us, we'd be more than happy to help them understand that part of it.
Excellent. Thank you, Tricia. That's fantastic information. I'm sure that's incredibly valuable to a lot of people out there listening. I understand for those that want to get in contact with you, though, and potentially learn more, that you have an offer available. Do you mind telling us a little bit about that?
Yes, as far as the offer goes, we would like to take a look at a complimentary evaluation of an insurance, of a practice insurance, and that means how much of the patient base is associated with the top 6 insurance companies, and then identify if there is a way that they can strategically reappoint those so that they have a higher fee schedule of about 24% or greater.
Excellent, excellent. And how would someone reach out to you or take advantage of that offer? We'll provide, for those watching below in the video description, there's a URL, but Tricia, is there a way that they can contact you other than that?
Yes, they can actually call our toll-free number. It's 888-421-1808, or they can email me directly at tcasasanta@spsolutionteam.com.
Okay, excellent. And for those of you listening, if you didn't catch it the first time, that information is provided below in the video description, so you can contact Tricia via email, via phone, and there's also the URL. So really hope you take advantage of that. I think that is a great offer, especially considering this topic and everything we discussed and the complexity involved here with insurance. Tricia, thank you so much for sharing your information on this topic. Anything else that you want to leave our listeners with before we wrap up?
Not at this time, but hopefully I will be able to be contacted by a few offices so that I can hear their stories and see if we can be of assistance.
Good. Thank you so much. And I hope everyone out there take advantage of that offer. It's fantastic. Tricia, thank you so much for being with us, for sharing your knowledge on this subject. We really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much, Kent.
Thank you. All right, thanks everyone for listening.